Hello and welcome. And once we're done factoring our product controller, it's now time to add the CRUD methods. Lately we're using the get method to get the brands, the products and the types, but we didn't try any delete, update or create. And this is now what we are going to do in this video, so let's follow along. So we're going to be starting by creating the product, and in order to do that we need to use the DTO for the creation of the product, and we will later on use that DTO to update our product too. I'm going to go into the DTOs folder. I'm going to create a new C# class, and I'm going to call this product to create DTO and press enter. And in this case, this DTO will contain all the properties that we will need for our product, and hence we will have to update it or add it according to these properties. So I'm going to remove the unnecessary usings on the top, and after doing that, as we're going to be having the properties for this entity, I'm going to go into the entities and I'm going to copy some of these properties so as to be able to avoid the duplication of typing the code again and again. So I'm going to paste this, and next we need to copy this for the type ID like this one, and lastly we have to copy this for the brand ID, because we need all of these so as to be able to save our product or to edit it. In order to avoid providing the empty values for this, we're going to add the annotation, and the annotation that we're going to be adding will be the required annotation. So in order to do that, so let me first try to reformat this code. I'm going to press Shift Tab to bring this one level, and in here on the top of the property that we need it to be required, I'm going to type required, and I'm going to use the quick fix, and I'm going to bring this annotation and remove this space. And we're going to do the same for the description. Of course, we need the description of the product. That's why we're going to input the required in here too, and the price, and I'm going to say required. And I'm going to do the same for the picture URL, and I'm going to say required, and I'm going to do the same for the type. And lastly, we're going to do the same for the brand, and I'm going to say required in here too. All right, and once we complete adding this, we need to add this into the mapping profiles too. So I'm going to navigate to the mapping profiles in here, and once we are in this file, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to say create map, and the mapping that we're going to be creating will be the product to create DTO, and it is going to go to the product, and here we go. All right, and once we complete adding this mapping, I'm going to go into the product controller, and we're going to start to add the methods that I need for the creation, the update, and the delete. And we're going to start with the creation of product, and this will be a post method. I'm going to say http post, and I need to give this endpoint a name. So I'm going to say add product, like this one, add product, and I'm going to create an async method. I'm going to say public async task, and it will be of action result of product, and I'm going to be calling this as create product. And the parameters that will be in here, I'm going to use the DTO that you created, and I'm going to say product to create DTO, and I'm going to be calling this as product to create DTO, like this one, and make sure you make this as capital. And after doing this, I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to start to implement all the required configurations so as to be able to save a product. First of all, I'm going to do the mapping. I'm going to say var product. This is going to be equal to mapper, and I'm going to say a map, and I'm going to be mapping the product to create DTO, and it is going to be mapped on the product. And here I'm going to pass in this exact value. All right. And after doing this, we ensure that the object that we are going to be getting from here is going to be mapped according to the DTO that we created. And after doing that, as we are going to be having the picture, I'm going to suppose that I'm having a default picture for the product, and I'm going to say product dot picture URL. This is going to be equal. I'm going to add, for example, images, and I'm going to go into products and hence placeholder for the as default. I'm going to use the placeholder as default. You can add any of this. I'm using this because I'm demonstrating on how this is done. It's possible that you will come up with another way to add a picture of your product. I did this for the purpose of demonstrating on how this could be done. And I'm going to say that I'm going to use the new unity of work, and I'm going to choose the repository, of course. And the repository that I'm going to be choosing, the one I'm going to be using will be the product. And I'm going to use the add method, and I'm going to add the product. And after doing this, I'm going to say var result. I'm going to create a result variable, and I'm going to say await. And I'm going to use the complete method from unit of work, and I'm going to be saying complete. All right. And after doing this, we have to check if now we're getting the result. So I'm going to say if result is less than or equal to 0, I'm going to return a bad request. And inside this, I'm going to say new API response, and I'm going to put in 400, and I'm going to put the message like problem saving the product. All right. And once we pass this check, we're going to return OK. And I'm going to wrap the product in here, and we're going to be returning the product as we be creating it. So I'm going to double check if we don't have any kind of errors. I'm going to use this, and here we go. After adding this, it's now time to test if this is working. And the way we do that, I'm going to start my API project, and I'm going to say .NET watch run. Alright, once this is started, I'm going to go back, and I'm going to use this add product, and there will be this object in here. So let's check. And the object is going to be looking like this one. There will be the name, the description, the picture URL, and for the product type and for the price. And once we go ahead and click on send this request, we are going to get this response, and you can see that the ID for this product is going to be 23. And keep that in mind because we're going to be using the same ID for editing and deleting. So I'm going to copy this 23, and I'm going to go to this update products, and I'm going to use the same ID. I'm going to prepare this. So once we reach there, it will be like a piece of cake. So I'm going to do like this one, and I'm going to use the same for the delete. So we will be seeing on how we're going to interact with our row or our record from the database. So I'm going to save this. And once we ensure that our product is now being saved in our database, it's now time to implement the other methods for the update and for the delete. So I'm going to continue my with my product controller. So I'm going to add another one for the put method. So I'm going to say http put, and I'm going to add now the endpoint as edit product, and I'm going to pass in the ID. Don't forget to add this because it can fail once you didn't add that. And in this case, so again, I'm going to be saying public async task of action result, and this will be a type of product, and I'm going to call this as update product. And we need the first parameter will be the int ID, and the second one will be I'm going to use product to create TTO, and I'm going to call this product to update like this one. Let me keep it simple, and I'm going to go inside here, and the first thing that I need to do is to get the product from the database, and I'm going to say var product, and I'm going to be saying that await, and I'm going to use the unity of work, and I'm going to set the repository as the product, and I'm going to say get by ID async, and I'm going to be passing the ID. And once we get this product, I'm going to also use the mapper again to map this object to the DTO. And I'm going to be saying product to update, and I'm going to say product like this one. And after that, I'm going to say unit of work, and I'm going to set the repository again as product, and I'm going to say update, and I'm going to pass in the product in here. Okay. After doing this, we're going to do the same like we did on the add product. I'm going to say result is going to be equal to await unity of work, and I'm going to say complete, and you're going to check if now result is less than or equal to 0. In this case, I'm going to return by the request, and I'm going to say new API response 400, and the message program updating the product. And once we pass this check, we're going to return now the OK, and you wrap in the product in here, and then save. Let's see, we're having the problem. Here is a product like this one. Okay. And once we are done with all of this, we can see if now the hot load is working, or we need to restart the server. Let me first try. I'm going to go to the update, and here are now the record that we're going to be using for this product with the ID that I put here. So whenever I click on send, you can see that now the product is successfully updated on the same ID, and you can see we are having this as test product creation edited, and this is working as expected. All right. Okay, let's go and try to add also the delete method. And like we did, I'm going to say HTTP delete, and I'm going to add the endpoint as delete product, and I'm going to be passing the ID, and I'm going to create this. I'm going to say public async task of action reset. Hence, this is delete. We don't need to pass any type, so I'm going to say delete product, and I'm going to pass in the ID. This is what we want, and I'm going to say var product. It's going to be unit of work, and I'm going to say repository, which will be the product, and I'm going to say get by ID. I'm going to pass in the ID, and I'm going to say unit of work, repository, and I'm going to be saying that this is going to be a product, and I'm going to be saying delete, and I'm going to be passing the product. All right. And I'm going to again store the result into this variable. It's going to be equal to unit of work, and I'm going to say complete, and if result, I'm going to return by the request, and I'm going to say new API response. I'm going to be putting 400, and I'm going to be saying problem deleting the product. You can customize the message how you want it. And once we pass this check again, we're going to wrap this into OK, and done. Let me see if you can wrap the product in here. Is this possible? Result in here. Let's put await here, and to make this as awaitable, and let's go back into our postman and try to send the delete request and see if this really work. So whenever we go to this delete request and try to delete this particular product, whenever we click on send, you can see that the resource was not found. It's possible that the endpoint is not latching, so let's try to do the same, and I'm going to restart the server. Once you see that it is not working, you can go ahead and restart the server. And you can see that in fact we're having a problem. Here we use the get by ID instead of getting get by ID async. And this is now the probable cause of this. And Let's see if we can spot any other error. You can see that it is complaining about this product. Let me see. Here we should use this as a weight. And here we go. Let's try to restart the server again. Once now the server is restarted, I'm going to go ahead and try to send the request again. So I'm going to go ahead and click on send. And in this case, let's see, you can see that now it is bringing this and it is indicating that this product was deleted, even though it was called this. And once we go and try to search for the product with this particular ID, we are not going to see it as we deleted it. So let's go ahead and see if we are going to be getting the not found once we try to search the product that is deleted, and hence we ensure that our product is no longer existing in our database. So whenever I click on send, you can see that we don't have anything with this particular ID. All right, so this indicates that now we are successful adding these CRUD methods. All right, and this marks the end of this lecture. I hope you liked it, and I'm going to be stopping by here. And if you did enjoy this course about .NET Web API, let me know. And don't forget to support our channel on Patreon. We'll be bringing another videos for .NET, and we will continue by adding the identity, but it will depend on your request. If you want me to add the identity on how to protect our API from using it without authentication, I will show you on how to do that. So thanks for being with me. I did enjoy this journey. Hope you did too. Don't forget to check the link in the description for the GitHub repository for this project and all the source codes. They will be there for free. Make sure you check them out. And thanks for being with me. My name is Chris, aka the IT guy. So see you guys in the next videos. Thanks. See you. Bye bye.